All right, we're back with more graphing of inequalities. We are going to graph this starting with a positive 2. So we're going to go up there just like we would be graphing an equation. And then we're going to use that 7/4 to help me move off of it. So if I do that and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to be off this graph. So that's going to not work. So I can't go up and to the right. So I'm going to go the opposite direction in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down, which means I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, keeping this positive. Now, if you wanted to go ahead, you can kind of get a little idea of where the graph would go off of this graph. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be roughly, basically right about here. So now we're going to look at this part, the inequality statement right here. Because this has a line underneath it, that means that it's going to be a solid line. So if you see this is dotted, and that's because there's no line there. So that means that we put a dashed line. This has got a solid line under it, which means it can be equal to this number. So we are going to just graph this. Again, you should be using a ruler with this, but I don't have one with me, and I'm trying to do this with one hand. So then you have your line, should be accurately drawn. And then when we look at it, we look at the y and whether it's greater than or less than. If it's greater than, like this one is, you shade above the line. So you just shade up here. And if it's less than, you shade below it. Another quick way is to do a test point, pick a point. If I picked a point, we try to pick 0, 0 whenever possible. Plug in the numbers over here. If the test point makes the statement true, then you shade that spot and that side. If it doesn't work, then you shade the other side. So if I put 0 in here, obviously it would be 0 is greater than or equal to, this is gonna make 0 plus 2, so this is gonna be just 2. And then you ask yourself, does this make sense? 0 greater than or equal to 2? The answer is no. So since it's a false statement, this point right here is not a solution set. So I shade the opposite side. Now again, bringing you over here to Desmos, I'm just going to show it to you on the graphing calculator. So the statement is y is greater than or equal to, so you can see the online little keypad. I'm just going to change this to that. And then we're going to put our fraction that we have here, which is 7 divided by 4. Move your arrow key over to the side and put x plus 2. And as you can see in the graph, you see number 1, it's got a solid line right here. So you know it's solid. And then you can see that it's shaded above the line right up there and not below down here. So that matches exactly what we had in our written graph. And if you want more questions like this, you can find them on my YouTube channel, You Want Algebra. Check these out under my graphing inequalities section.